What if your favorite morning caffeine kick wasn't meant for a mug, but for a dessert plate? Around the world, chefs and home cooks have taken the bitter, complex notes of espresso and transformed them into some of the most iconic sweets on the planet. From a wartime dairy shortage in Vietnam that birthed a legendary sweet foam, to a late-night request at a London bar that changed cocktail culture forever, coffee is the ultimate secret weapon in the culinary world. Welcome to Food Genesis. If you want to uncover the raw history behind the world's most famous flavors and recipes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video right now. Today we are conducting a deep dive audit on the evolution, mechanics, and secret histories of the world's ultimate coffee desserts. We begin in the Veneto region of northeastern Italy with tiramisu. Developed most likely in the late 1960s or early 1970s, this globally recognized dessert translates roughly to pick me up or lift me up, a direct nod to the potent combination of caffeine and sugar in every single serving. The most commonly accepted origin story traces back to a restaurant in Treviso called Le Becherie, where pastry chef Lolli Linguanotto reportedly assembled the first version around 1969. Structurally, tiramisu relies on extreme simplicity and involves absolutely no baking. It is built from alternating layers of espresso-soaked ladyfinger biscuits and a rich mascarpone cream, finished with a generous dusting of bitter cocoa powder. The texture sits perfectly between a mousse and a chilled cake. The ladyfingers absorb just enough espresso to become soft without turning soggy, while the mascarpone layer stays dense yet airy. The dry cocoa powder on top provides a faintly bitter contrast that cuts cleanly through the dairy richness underneath. By the 1980s, it spread globally, appearing on menus worldwide before many diners had ever experienced authentic Italian regional cooking. Next, we look at a dessert that highlights pure coffee flavor clarity: coffee jelly. The concept actually originated in 19th century Britain, appearing in Victorian cooking manuals, but it never fully caught on there. Instead, Japan adopted the concept in the early 20th century and turned it into a massive cultural fixture. By the mid-1900s, coffee jelly was widely available in Japanese convenience stores, traditional cafes, and school cafeterias, usually served with sweetened cream or condensed milk poured over the top. Made by setting strong brewed coffee or cold brew with gelatin or agar-agar, it becomes firm enough to slice into bouncy cubes. Because there is absolutely no fat or dairy mixed into the gelatin base, the true bitter notes of the coffee come through with unusual clarity. The magic happens when the bitter jelly meets the sweet cream, creating a stark contrast instead of blending into one flat taste. This dessert eventually spread across East and Southeast Asia, gaining major traction in Taiwan, where it became a popular addition to iced milk teas and boba drinks. Crossing over to France, we find the technically demanding opera cake. This classic Parisian layer dessert is built from paper-thin sheets of almond sponge cake soaked in intense coffee syrup, alternated with coffee buttercream and chocolate ganache, all finished with a perfectly flat, glossy dark chocolate glaze. The dessert is most closely associated with the Parisian pastry house Daloyo, which began selling it in the 1950s or 1960s under the creation of chef Cyriaque Gavillon. A competing claim exists from another Parisian bakery called Louis Clichy from the early 20th century, a dispute that was never fully settled. An opera cake slice reveals an engineered cross-section where the almond sponge adds a faint nuttiness and absorbs moisture without collapsing, while the ganache adds depth and smooths out the sweetness. Because keeping the ganache at the right temperature and achieving perfectly even, razor-thin layers requires elite precision. This cake has long been an ultimate benchmark in professional French pastry training. Returning to Italy, we find the simplest coffee collision of all: the affogato. The word literally means drowned in Italian, which perfectly describes a single scoop of cold vanilla gelato or ice cream submerged in a fresh, hot shot of espresso, poured directly over it at the moment of serving. Because it developed as an informal custom, rather than through a specific restaurant kitchen, its exact origins are difficult to trace to a single source. The entire experience depends completely on timing. The hot espresso begins melting the gelato immediately, meaning the first few spoonfuls combine a warm, bitter liquid with cold, creamy dairy. If you let it sit too long, the temperature contrast disappears entirely, turning the dessert into a uniform thick liquid. In Italy, the affogato occupies a casual, in-between space, enjoyed more as a post-meal treat than a formal dessert course. In Latin America, coffee takes on a silky baked form with coffee flan, while set custards trace back to ancient Rome and the caramel-topped format became established in medieval Spain. It was in places like Cuba, Mexico, and Puerto Rico that coffee was introduced to the mix. Adding brewed espresso to the egg and milk base before baking introduces a deep layer of sophisticated bitterness to an otherwise gentle, sweet preparation. A well-made flan is completely smooth with no air bubbles. The melted caramel at the bottom of the mold adds a slightly burnt sweetness that pairs naturally with the coffee custard. While Mexican versions tend to be firmer and richer by sometimes adding cream cheese, Cuban versions are traditionally lighter and more delicate, proving how local coffee cultures leave their own distinct stamp on a classic technique. In Vietnam, a historic wartime shortage birthed the Vietnamese egg coffee mousse. Created in Hanoi in 1946 by a bartender named Nguyen Van Giang at the Sofitel Metropole Hotel, fresh dairy milk was scarce due to the war. Jiang began whipping egg yolks with sweetened condensed milk to produce a thick, airy foam that could replace dairy cream in coffee drinks. The dessert version takes this exact iconic concept and turns it into something spoonable. The base of beaten egg yolks and condensed milk is whipped until pale and surprisingly light, then served over concentrated dark-roasted Vietnamese Robusta drip coffee. Robusta beans carry a stronger earthiness and a sharper caffeine edge than Arabica, which is exactly why the flavor safely survives the heavy sweetness of the egg foam. Traveling to Australia and New Zealand, we find the dramatic coffee pavlova. Named after the famous Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova during her 1920s tour, the two countries have fiercely debated who actually invented the meringue-based dessert for decades. The coffee variation replaces plain white meringue with one flavored using espresso powder. During baking, the sugar and coffee react, turning the crisp outer shell a warm amber color with a roasted, slightly smoky undertone. The inside remains soft and marshmallow-like, because meringue is highly sensitive to atmospheric humidity, which can cause the sugar to melt and turn soggy. Making a perfect pavlova requires absolute oven temperature control and a long, patient drying phase. In Hong Kong and the Guangdong region of southern China, coffee integrates into dim sum culture through coffee Malai Go. Traditionally, Malai Go is a soft steamed sponge cake made with eggs, brown sugar, and wheat flour, yielding a tender, bouncy texture and a caramelized aroma. The modern coffee variation infuses brewed espresso into the batter, introducing a bitter edge to the quietly sweet cake. The batter is typically lightly fermented before steaming, which creates a delicate chew and small, perfectly even air pockets that tear apart gently rather than crumbling. The coffee naturally strengthens the deep molasses notes of the brown sugar, creating a highly aromatic, warm cake that is sliced into thick rectangles and served directly from the steamer baskets. Finally, we look at a modern legend born in London in 1983, the Espresso Martini. Created by legendary bartender Dick Bradsell at the Soho Brasserie, the drink came to life when a young model walked up to the bar and asked for a drink that would wake her up and get her drunk at the same time. Bradsell grabbed the ingredients within arm's reach: vodka, coffee liqueur, and a fresh shot of hot espresso straight from a nearby machine. Shaking the ingredients vigorously over ice emulsifies the natural oils and proteins in the fresh espresso, creating a dense, stable foam layer at the top of the chilled coupe glass. Garnish traditions add exactly 3 coffee beans to the foam, a custom borrowed from Italian Sambuca service representing health, wealth, and happiness. It stands today as one of the most ordered craft cocktails across the globe. Every single one of these creations proves that coffee is far more than a morning routine. It is a complex, versatile ingredient capable of anchoring the world's greatest culinary masterpieces. Whether you prefer the structural simplicity of an Italian tiramisu, the technical layers of a French opera cake, or the quick contrast of an affogato, coffee continues to shape the genesis of modern dessert culture. Thank you for uncovering the history of food with us today on Food Genesis. If this deep breakdown changed the way you look at your favorite treats, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your friends. Leave a comment below letting us know which coffee dessert you are craving right now. Stay disciplined, keep exploring, and we will see you in the next analysis.